What's up guys, welcome back. I'm Ella Dadzi and this is another video reaction from Cruise and it's titled Can Fraud Ever Be Justified? Fraudsters versus Victims. Now before I even start with this, I want to say fraud can never be justified. Like what the hell? What the hell? Scamming people is a crime.
Signify if you agree with the prompt. Scamming white people can be justifiable.
Yeah, actually, it's justifiable. We've been through a lot. Back in the days. We've been through a lot. The actual case is that we are not actually scamming the major country. You dig? Actually, those UK, that England, they supposed to suffer very well. We've been through a lot. We suffered on their hands. We suffered back in the days. You know the story. Actually, I'm here as an ex-foster. So many years ago, or 6 years ago, there about my parents. I lost my parents. I didn't know what to do. And that is the only way. That's the only thing I could do at that particular point in time. So I had to do it. I'm a fashion designer now, so I'm off that track. I don't do that anymore, you know. I still have pictures and videos of how the British molested us. They molested us, especially the Nigerians. They molested us. They did so many bad things. I can't even think the British cause harm than good. Though definitely we have to continue to scam them. You know, this is like our favorite time.
Scamming a white person pays more.
Okay, so if I understand him correctly, it's like paying bad with bad is good. Like because the British, colonized Africa, colonized Nigeria, because of all that, so scamming the British out of their money is good.
Than scamming within ourselves. If you understand what I mean when it comes to the currency. Now, apart from the currency, I feel the struggle that we're going through in our country today, they are majorly part of it, apart from the bad leaders. They came in back then, took all our forefathers, maybe for slavery and all, and still today we are still going through the slavery stuff, yes. They used the word monkey and everything. There was actually a part where I had to open my face to this guy, and then the next thing he started on the camera, and it was like, you black monkey, like, get off my phone. Then the next person I got, I made sure and I told myself that the monkey that they call me, I will let them know how a monkey that can be so smart to rip everything out of your life. So I did it, I collected what I wanted, and I took through it. So I feel they deserve it.
There was a certain time the white saw that the white didn't open my face. He saw me. He pulled the trigger on the life and shot it straight. I didn't think he saw me physically. He shoot me because I'm a scammer.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
Not that I am justifying what he just said about, the white person pulling a trigger on him and then like pulling a gun at him and then shooting him, but he just found out you want to scam him. He just found out that you want to scam him. Not like it is justified. The action that he did is justified, but you want to scam him.
Two wrongs doesn't make it right. You understand?
Exactly.
Some of us, we know what we call our tribes here. So what do we call Northerners? I mean, come on. So we cannot say, why do we call us this? What do we call ourselves as Nigerian? So I feel there's no justification for that. Our people were the ones that sold those black people to death. So you can't say, yes. My dad also told me that he's one of his ancestors sold slaves to the Beninese people, some of them, Yorubas, they would take the warring tribes. The people that they conquer, they would carry them as so. That's what happened.
If we think back on, or if you did history in school, I mean, we know that white people didn't just come here and rip people out of the land. They did that in some instances, but people were also sold off for things like gunpowder and mirrors and random shit that you can buy on the road today, right? So our people also contributed to other people ending up being slaves. That's one point. Number two is,
The point that she has just made, that people contributed to, this whole slavery and thing. That is something that sometimes we do forget. There are some facts that's fine. It was a war between a tribe or a country, or blacks and then the whites. It was a war. So if like the whites kind of like win the war, they takes the people, the blacks are slave. And then there were some times which, as I said, we mostly forget that some slaves were actually sold by the black man. Some slaves were sold by the black man, by their own people, by their own chiefs, by their own kings, by their own family. That is what we forget.
How are you sure that your direct forefathers were ever slaves? So why are you the one avenging for other people's forefathers who ended up being slaves?
Can you see your forefathers?
Wait now. Why are you the in quotes Jesus now, who should now come and fight for the other people's misfortune or injustice that they went through? Do you understand? And like he said, two wrongs really do not make it right.
For the ex-rosters that want to turn to Justice League or Avengers Assemble for our forefathers. Now, the term justifiable is what we tell ourselves to sleep at night comfortably. When you hear this person, you just come, spent his last money and, committed suicide and blah, 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 is no more. You just say, hey, he deserves this so you can sleep at night. What is bad is bad. Normal. I would say scamming the whites is more lucrative, not justifiable.
Yeah.
Justifiable is not the word, it's just more lucrative.
I haven't gotten to even half of the video, but I kind of like this guy, the one speaking right now, because okay, so there are ex-fosters and then there are this is victims, and then what he just said is very accurate, which I agree. Frauding people, no matter the race or the religion or whatever the country the person is from, it isn't justifiable. But then the word that he used here is lucrative. Scamming the white is lucrative, and which I think that is, he's been truthful here. Because sometimes when you scam people, we hear a lot, even on our social media, when we hear that somebody has been scammed, it kind of leads to the person just ending his or her life. And the thing is, they don't just start off by scamming the person. They kind of gain the person's trust with whichever that it may be, like say investment wise or relationship wise, romantic relationship wise, whichever way that it is. So they kind of end, as I said, they kind of end the person's trust, and then for somebody to give you their trust and then in the end they find out that it was all for the money, it was all to just take everything that the person has, they kind of tend to just end their lives, which is very, very sad. There's nothing that can make frauding people, scamming people justifiable. There's nothing that can make it justifiable.
That's what I think, because they fall easily, like, for like, the guys I've stayed with, though, like, some things they do, I wonder how their victims fall for this type of things.
Okay, one more thing, when you said that they are more stupid about that, it's actually
It's
more...
romantic, it's romance, they just use romance to enter them, that's all.
It's
like,
trust. That's why we are not growing as a country.
Okay.
It's trust. I don't trust you as a person. But the only thing he said that I might not totally agree to is that, I think I can agree with that because of the exchange rates, because of the money I'm collecting from them is huge, right? But from historical point of view, it's totally wrong.
I don't agree with that.
I have studied really well. I studied history really well to understand that most of this slavery, there's this saying that says that enemy within will always be the one to actually fish you out to the enemies outside. Yeah. So we were sold for common things. Have you been to Benin City before? You need to go and
That's
see.
where I'm from.
That's
You don't
where
need
you're
to tell
from.
me.
Very good. Now, your king, your chiefs were the one that sold your people down to Portuguese. The same people you say you want to scam were the same people that brought in education. That is why you and I can communicate now.
Yeah.
Right? The same people that you say you want to scam are the same people that actually invented vaccines. Right? The same people that invented telephone that you can use to scam people. Now, you now say they are bad because of what happened in time past. those times were conquest. If I was a white too, I would take you as a slave if you are not smart or strong enough. If you were a slave, hold on. If you are being sold to me as a slave, I will take you as a slave because you are not mine. That was it then, but no more.
What of the victims that you scam whose forefathers were
not
slave
involved.
traders or involved in slavery?
How do you know?
How do you know
also
that
know.
your own forefather was a slave for you to go and avenge them by scamming the
You
white
know whether
people?
your own ancestors sold slave?
How
You're
did
a
it
Guinea, right? Go and do a research on your ancestry. You might be surprised that your own ancestors sold slaves to the whites.
Exactly.
Scamming is beneficial to the economy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, most club, most business they open because of boys. Now boys cause harm because you don't expect some people that are collecting small salaries to be engaging in all those places. They go into all those places. You understand?
Nigeria has the highest number of poor people in the world. How has scamming improved this country for every
In
single
the world.
Yes, now it's a statistic fact. I was watching some news a while back. The country with the highest number of millionaires now. China. What is China doing? Why is China having the highest number of millionaires in the
Where is
world
India?
now?
China has the highest population, so it's
Not
normal
that.
it's normal that they will have the highest
Industrialization.
number
That
of
is the
people.
reason why industrialization.
They are scammers, so
Not scammers.
Right, enough.
Industrialization.
Like-
More companies. You create more companies, more jobs. That's the reason. Not scamming. Scamming does not improve. We are tainting our image as a nation. We are
Thank
tainting it
you.
more.
We cannot begin to understand how much Nigeria as a nation has lost due to the reputation that scammers have put on the nation. From scamming other people, a lot of businesses have held back from investing more in our economy. A lot of businesses have been scammed, having set up in Nigeria, and have had to leave. Okay, so we are, you might say you're putting back into the economy, but you're also
They're not putting anything
pinching.
back.
This is like a great point that she has brought up, because if I am an investor and then I'm going to a country and then I hear that the country is full of scams, they are the like, when it comes to scamming in the world, like they're like first then they are inside. That will kind of like make me rethink about my decision on going into the country to invest, to create a business, because what if I go and then I am being scammed? I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose the company. I'm going to lose the money that I invest in it. So in a way, I agree with the point that she has brought up, because no investor wants to be in a country that they have high rise in scam or in frauding people.
You're literally also killing the economy, because
how does it affect the
so
GDP?
many more companies would invest in Nigeria if there was the basic level of trust in the people.
Well, scamming
But
is
because
worldwide.
of a
It's not only
few
Nigeria.
scammers, right, millions are not benefiting from the investment of other countries and other individuals and businesses.
No, my point is, percentage-wise, we might have more scammers than they do. Because we are
No,
1.2.
China has more scammers.
They are
I've checked it.
1.2%.
I've checked it.
That's not the
They are
argument.
1.2
That's not the
billion.
argument. Let him
Okay,
finish.
continue.
Statistically speaking, China has more. We are only loud.
Okay, continue.
No, you can argue, yeah, maybe outside this place, but China has more, right? But we are only loud. That's why we are called Nigerian prince. If scamming has contributed to the economy, I would say to the immediate environment, to people involved, right? But it's not even something I have to say that it's contributing, because when he said some businesses are open because of boys, okay, well, I would agree.
We are saying to the nation, not. You have to give
Did you hear my?
statistical analysis
That's
here to back
why I
up your
said.
opinion.
That's why I said to the nation, no, but to the individual itself, yes.
What's the percentage to the GDP of the economy?
Exactly.
Like, you cannot just come
So
out
that
and
business
say,
enterprise that they open is only for scammers.
As a president, would
on,
you rate
you don't have a point,
scamming as something that contributes to your GDP? You won't do that.
but you can have an idea of, okay, we see.
There's no idea, because
No.
they clean the money, right? If they get money from scams, like they hide it under other kinds of business.
Yeah.
They
That's
say,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
they own a clothing line, but it's actually from scamming. So they use the business to wash the money, in quotes, right? That's scamming 101, I guess. But like, in terms of, how much has that contributed to GDP of the country, we can never know. We
It
can
cannot
never
even
know.
sell because you are driving away
again,
business.
the point is, you guys, it's the scammers that directly benefit.
Benefits.
It doesn't really
okay, I
benefit
want to
the
ask you a
country at
question.
large.
I believe scamming is a talent.
Oh, I'm the only agreeer. Cool. I'm not a scammer, but I do believe that you definitely need a certain level of skill set and expertise to scam people out of their money or defraud people out of their money. You need to be very convincing. You need to be an emotionally manipulative person. I think scammers definitely have some skill, and it's based on a high level of, well, some of them are actually stupid scammers, I'm not gonna lie. Like some scams are, it's like, okay, how did you even fall for that? But I would never victim blame, but yeah, I definitely believe that you do need skill to be a scammer.
I think that being a scammer is kind of like being a salesperson, being a sales representative of a company, because you have to convince somebody, you have to tell the person what he's gaining out of it, you have to earn the person's trust. And not just anybody can be a sales representative. Being a sales representative, you have to be good at communicating and listening and understanding and actually gaining that kind of information from the person and using it against the person. Against, in a way, if you're like a sales representative, using it against the person to get something out of the person. If it is for the person to buy something, yes, that is it. So yes, I think, yeah, being a scammer is you have to be very talented. At the same time, believe you can also, there's nothing that cannot be learned in this world. Some people don't have the talent, but then they have learned, and then they have gained experience, and it is basically like they're running like a company, which is like a scamming company.
Can the disagreeers speak now?
I totally disagree. If you have a service that you can offer, that people are looking for, you will scam as much people as you want. That's just the truth. You don't have to be talented. Like, I do a lot of business online, and if I were to scam people now, I would have had maybe up to like millions of money in my account. A lot of people pay me money because they trust me.
But if you were not delivering on your promises, you need to be a good liar and a manipulator to convince other people to still give you their money.
Not really.
Some other things involved include circumstance, condition, and chance. For example,
With these and the other cases of companies robbing people who put their money in their banks. First of all, this whole thing of Fabako 10, like bring one for 10, that is stupid. That is really stupid. But also the thing is, these companies, they have the time, they've planned everything out. They have the time. So if like their plan is like 10 years or in like 15 years or 5 years, they have the patience and then they have the time. So first of all, they're going to gain your trust. They're going to gain your trust to let people advertise their company for them by way of mouth, because I believe that the first few years of these companies, I've kind of forgotten some, but then those people, like, the number one issue and the other stuff and the rest. I believe that the first few years they actually were delivering. Like, you bring 5 cities, you could get like 20 cities. You bring 20 cities, you get like 100 cities out of it. They were actually delivering on what they promised. And then when they have gained people's trust, and then they see that a lot of people are coming into the company to invest, to bring their money to the company, to do this and this and that, just gaining the trust of the people, that is when they realize that we have gotten to the target that we want, so we are just boom, getting out of the country, or boom, we are closing down. So yeah.
You might be sending out bulk messages, or premium WhatsApp could send up to 200 messages. Now, you send up to 200 messages, no matter how stupid the content, you know that out of 200 messages, at least you see 5 people that will fall for it. It does not have to do with talent. It just has to do with the fact that there are lots of stupid people out there. Then circumstance in the sense that you heard lots of stories and lots of methods of which people have scammed people successfully, and you decide to adopt one of these methods, following the same footsteps that this particular person used at certain points in time. You're not talented, you're just doing copy and paste.
I must actually add that the word talent itself does not really mean that you have the skill, something that you're born with. Right?
Exactly.
So you can't just call a scammer talented. Something that does great storytellers. Let me use that word. Nobody's born being a scammer. They all learn this act. And by learning this act, it all developed to be a skill. It's never a talent. If it is, I should be a scammer by now.
Please signify if you agree with the prompt. Some people deserve to be scammed because of greed.
Let me point out some instances whereby greed
Before I continue with this, first of all, no, nobody deserves to be scammed. Nobody deserves to be scammed. But this whole thing of here in Ghana, like bring 10 cities and get 20 Ghana cities. What work have you done for the company for you to be earning times 2 of what you brought? What work have you done for the company for you to be earning something like that? Or bring 100 cities, you're going to get 500 Ghana cities. Why? And this company, don't they want profits? They are just what? Not like what I'm saying, like I'm justifying to them being scammed, but it doesn't make sense. There are some people, when you hear the stories of how they were scammed, I'm like, this is easily avoidable. This could have been avoided, but I don't know whether because of greed, whether they wanted more or whatever, that is why they fell victim to such a scam. Because once again, it don't make sense when it comes to some scams. They're like, especially this scam that I'm talking about of bringing 200 Ghana cedis and then getting 1,000 Ghana cedis. Why? Banks even don't do that. Okay, commercial banks, they don't even do that.
paves way for scam. One of them is all these Ponzi schemes. Yeah, you hear, okay, I invested
Ponzi schemes.
1 million and I want to get 10 million. My friend did it. Okay, I want to put 2 million and I want to get 20 million. Where the fuck do you think they are getting this money from? People who get scammed that way, I feel they deserve it. When you hear some amount of money that sounds unrealistic for a particular role, it removes common sense from you and you start acting based on that amount of money you had just because of greed. So if it is in these few instances, I believe people that fall prey actually deserve it.
Yeah, I've actually been scammed before. Earlier this year, I was actually scammed, and I just feel like I really wish I wasn't that foolish, but at the same time, I felt I deserve it. But there's a situation whereby you can see, because I own a kitchen, you could see like 5 liters of chicken stew that worth about 22,000 naira, and somebody down the street is selling it for just 15,000 naira. So instead of you to purchase the first thing that's on the street, but because we want to have that flashy light that, yeah, I just got order on that and all that, and then you pay for 22,000 naira at the end of the day, end up not getting a order. So I just feel that was a selfish move, and that's somebody that's not willing to support each other when it comes to like human activity. So that person deserves to be found.
Can the disagreeers speak now?
Whether the person is greedy to you or not, in quote, is of no concern to you. You understand? The person is his money, he can do whatever it is what he wants to do with it. Why would you not want to justify, or why would the scammer not want to justify his action based on the fact that this person is greedy? I feel like that's wrong. You already have it from the beginning, from the onset, that you want to do these things. So you don't have to justify a vice based on the fact that this person is greedy, so we must. No. It's their money, they can do whatever it is they want to do with it.
I agree that greed sometimes leads people to being defrauded. However, I don't think that most people deserve to be defrauded because you deem them greedy, right? I need you to understand that there are situations where people aren't fully equipped with education and knowledge So they don't fully understand certain things. And we all live in Nigeria. So you understand that a lot of people are in desperate situations. If they don't understand maybe how economics works or investing works, right? And you say, bring 50K, you get 500K at the end of the month. Some people truly believe what you're saying. And remember that in terms of scammers defrauding people out of their money, they're very convincing, right? You come first from a place of trust. More often than not, the person has heard everything that you presented onto them and they've believed it because of how convincing the scammers seem, right? So they trust, and then you give them examples of other people that he has worked for. So that, in that sense, I don't think it's always greed.
You mentioned something that struck a bell to me. You said they deserve to be scammed by that. That doesn't sit well with
I'll
me.
give you an instance.
Of course, I would love to listen to that example.
So the prompt says no, but you need to talk about scams in the broader sense of the
My
word.
point is why claim to
not
offer a
just
service you know you cannot offer?
It's very simple. You have to cut your coat according to your size. When you don't do it, you get scammed. That's good. That's a fact. Okay? So we don't need to talk too much about this. Yes, some people don't deserve to be scammed. Why some really do deserve to be scammed? Everybody's desperate, yes. But at the same time, take your brain along with it. It's very simple. Nobody's forcing you out there to give out your money.
People don't deserve to be scammed in any way. It's an awkward thinking. It's a criminal-minded thinking when you say that you deserve to be scammed. For example, he said, generally, humans are generally stupid. Let me use that word. Generally, you're stupid. But then you should not use, because I am at that level of moronic sense, that you now prey on.
exactly. I think yes, some people are stupid, but not everyone's stupid. It's not a broad statement or a blanket statement that you can use for everyone. So specifically for people who are somewhat smart and are still defrauded of their money, it definitely took a certain level of talent and skill on the part of the scammer to get money out of that person. That's all I'd say.
So yes, this is it. I don't know, I like Cruise's content because sometimes they bring out content that are really worth listening to, or having people have their opinions on it directly. And first off, like, nobody is born to be a scammer, and everybody is born with something in his or herself, but if you don't polish it, if you don't unearth it, it's not going to happen for you. You're not going to be able to use it, whatever it is that you have within you. And also, people are desperate. People are really desperate to be able to afford things for themselves, to be able to live the kind of life that they want. So when they hear that somebody is offering, then again, these Ponzi schemes, when they hear that somebody is offering times 10 of the money that they have, they are going to go to the depths of wherever that they can get the money from and then invest it in it, hoping that they are going to get times 10 of what they have put into the company. Which I am not saying that they've been scammed out of the money that they put into that company, into that Ponzi scheme is justifiable. But at the same time, as I said, why would a company decide to give you times 10 of the money that you have invested in it without doing any job, just because you invested the money in it? But then again, it is sad. It is sad to hear that people are being scammed. There's nothing that can justify why people scam. Look, everybody has their lows. You being at a low point in your life doesn't justify that you scamming people out of their money. And it is all based on trust. Like, it isn't when somebody gives you their trust, it's like you have it all. When somebody decides to put their trust in you, it's like you have the upper hand when it comes to the person. So yes, this is it. Let me know what you think about this video. Don't forget to like, share. I'm going to leave a link to the original video in the description box. Leave a comment, okay? Let me know what you think, and I will see you guys some other time.